Hello all, back to my A to Z embroidery stitches. I'm still on my blanket stitches and today is going to be the pinwheel, and I got my center point drawn there. My fabric is coming apart a little bit. I'm going to have to do something different with the piece that I added to the bottom, but that'll be another day. So draw a circle, mark the center, bring the thread up. Oops, already not doing the right thing. Let me try again. My goodness, maybe I should read it first before I just jump in. Let me try again. I am suffering from allergies today. I just had a sneezing attack. It's April when I'm filming this. I'm not sure when it'll be posted, but right now it's April, and the pollen is strong. Okay, bring it up from A. I can just barely see my line in the black. Not very well. Bring it up from A, and then take the needle from B to C, just to the right of A. Move my thread out of the way so that I can see where I'm going. Can't really see. I don't know how much of a distance I want. I'm going to go with that. Make sure that I catch it like so. And then pull the loop so it's on the circle. Again, take the needle from the center to the edge of the circle, just right with the previous stitch. I didn't plan my fabric very well, so I'm short on the side, and I was short on the bottom, but it's, you know what, it's all a learning experience, and then that's what I'm here for, is the learning experience. Kind of guessing where my circle is right there. I think that's too far. I'm going to come back a little bit like that. Let my thread go. I don't mean to. It's too big of a stitch. I might be better off not in the hoop. I don't know. Can't quite get to my circle. I'm going to take it out of the frame and see if I like it better that way. Maybe I will take it out of the frame. Maybe I won't. Not cooperating very well. Ah, the joys of learning to do a new craft. Okay. Holding that there, I'm going to say I would need to go right there. Oops. It'd help if I caught my thread. Where's my mistake? My mistake is like 2 ago. Let me just pull it out and see if I can't fix it. I presume that you can hear the neighbor's dogs going crazy over there. There is 7 of them. They bark at everything. They range in size from medium to small, I think, or maybe large to small. I'm not sure exactly. Let me see. I just got this whole thing all figured up. Okay, I'm going to pull the whole thing out and start over. I'll be right back. Okay, I took out my pinwheel. I also took my little piece off the bottom. I will deal with that later. Okay. So this one should have actually I have to think this through. It should have gone like this for the first stitch, like that. Okay, holding that to the side, I come through. I should invest in a tiny little hoop for stuff like this. Then I could just put this little corner in a hoop, and it would be stretched nice and tight. So, off to a better start. Mostly I just need to make sure I don't pull my stitches too tight while I'm doing this. I noticed in Christine's video she actually started at the top at noon. I went with what the book said and started at the bottom. I did not actually start at 6 though. I kind of started more at 7. I guess it doesn't really matter. But again, make sure I don't pull too tight on this, and try to get my stitches somewhat evenly spaced. Not too bad. Can't really see my line that I drew either on the black, which I think I have since solved that problem. I have some other fabric that I wanted to do some stitching on that the friction pins don't show up. And then also in a couple of places I noticed that even after you heat them off, they don't really go away as well as I had hoped. So for future projects, I got myself a roll of whatever this is. This is sticky water-soluble paper stabilizer. So I think from now on I'm going to write my words on here and just stick it on my fabric. That way I'll be able to use some of the fabrics that I can't write on, and also it'll get me away from the friction pen. So in this case, I could have used it for my circles, and it probably would have been very nice. And maybe I will iron these off and use it for the rest of my circles. We'll have to see when I get to those. But for now, here we are. A little bit fiddly right there. I don't think that, maybe I didn't pull that one tight enough first. There we go. That's better. Alright, I am going to finish my circle and then I will be back after I get all the way around. Well, I haven't done any more. I did one stitch and I was getting frustrated with it because my fabric was puckering up quite a bit. And I started thinking that I actually bought a whole set of hoops and I wonder where I put them. And well, here they are. So now I'm going to attempt to do it with it in the hoop after I put my glasses back on because I cannot see what I'm doing. And we'll see if this is better. And at this point I would say maybe my needle is too long. But I'm going to go for it. I can't expect to be perfect. Can I? I cannot. That's not reasonable. On my very first try, I'm going to do a poke and stab because I'm right at the edge of the, kind of by the edge of the hoop, and it's a little difficult. So my circle is a bit wonky. Right here where I was attempting to do it without any kind of support. Obviously this is a stitch that really needs a hoop or some sort of way to hold it from, I'm going to stop messing with that. Hold it from needs to be held tight, I think. And so my bad that I was not doing that. Again, I am learning to embroider. I am not by any means anything more than a very beginner at this point. I will reiterate that I very much am enjoying it, and I'm very much enjoying the process. And I realize that right this second I am not doing it exactly as the directions imply that I should, but that's okay. So now that I'm on a roll, I'm going to once again pause the recording and see if I can't get a little farther around the circle. Fuzzies and all kinds of stuff going on. And then I'll be right back. So a couple of things. One, my thread just ran out right there. And one of the things that I've noticed in this book is they don't show you how to restart. So I just came back up through the hole that I had finished on, because I don't know what else to do, to be honest. The other thing is I was watching Christine's video while I was doing this, and her stitches are spaced more like these that I just did, and not so tight like these. So I'm going to do the rest of this more spaced out and not so pulled together. Again, this is all about learning, and well, I am definitely learning that I'm not going the right way here. I went from the top when I should have gone from the bottom. So much to learn, so many things to learn in this process. I really am enjoying the challenge, though. I'm glad I stumbled upon her videos. And I enjoy her style in the way that she shows things. So I found another gal that was doing an A to Z. I don't remember if it was this book or a different book, and I couldn't get through the first video. I just didn't. The way she was, her presentation style did not appeal to me at all, which is too bad. I'm sure her videos are lovely. They just did not work for me. That being said, if my videos appeal to you, wonderful, and if they don't, well, I completely understand. That is just how life is. Not everybody is going to appeal to everybody else. So I am going to keep going and see if I can forever make it around this circle. I made it all the way around. I have a messed up loop right here because my fabric got over and I got a hold of it. I'm just going to live with it. It is what it is. I don't know which loop it was, so I can't really come to the front and try to fix it. I probably couldn't fix it anyway. I just went right down where the first stitch was. For the last stitch, take the needle from center A through the same hole with the thread under the needle, pull through to anchor. I probably should have put one more wheel piece right there, but I am not going to. I'm going to call it good. There's a little gap there, but that's okay. Pull the thread through and off the back and work a French knot in the center to complete the flower. Okay, I did a French knot in a different project, and I was not very good at it. It was very difficult for me. So we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to come up through my center right here and make a big old windy mess in back. There we go. Up through my center, and then I'm going to go find French knot because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't remember. E, F. Too far, I'm into G. French knot with a ribbon. French knot. Okay. Secure the thread on the back of the work. Check. Hold the thread firmly with the thumb and index finger. Check. About 1.25 inches away from the fabric. With the left hand, bring the needle over. With left hand, bring thread over the needle to ensure the needle points away from the fabric. I think they have it caught like, I don't know how they got, let's see. It comes out like that. It goes over the top and it comes back like this. Okay. Wrap the thread around the needle and keeping it taut to the point of the needle towards the fabric, and then take the needle to the back of the fabric. I'm just going to step 1 or 2 threads away from the emerging thread, but I have such a tight little hole there. Look at that! Okay, you can't see it because my camera will not focus on it, but oh, how delightful! That's like the best one I've made so far out of the other ones that I made in the other project. Oh, that's exciting. I am going to tie this off and tell you about my takeaways. My takeaways are this. Don't make your stitches too small. Try to work in a hoop or a frame or something whenever possible, especially in a project like this. And don't sweat the small stuff, I guess, obviously, because, well, mistakes are to be made. I am a beginner and I am learning. So, take this out of its little hoop here, maybe. I don't like doing this, but I guess it's okay. In other videos I've seen from people, they do that also. It doesn't seem to distort the stitches or anything, so I guess it's okay. I don't know. Okay. Ta-da! There's my pinwheel. I do believe I'm going to iron these off and use the sticky paper for these circles for the next, when I do these other circles. I think it will be easier. So, I'm going to go give this a quick iron and I'll bring it right back. Okay, there's my completed pinwheel, and you can see a ghost of where the other circles were, so I'm definitely going to use the sticky paper for the next one. But that came out pretty well, even though I started out so teeny tiny.